world. Here we go, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Those guys from America will be fighting each other for their spot in the semis in the Route 909 Crew Battles playoffs.
Yeah.
It's actually the first match we get to see today. Pretty excited about it. And here we are.
Yeah, and this is the Clash in the Capital, I believe it's called. A street race in New York. And right now we see a guy from Nemesis crashing into everything. It is very, very tight little roads that you have to drive on in this map.
Yeah.
And there's simply not room for 6 people, so it's all about surviving the collisions.
Oh yeah, so it's a bit like stock car actually.
Yeah.
It's your car gets bumped a lot, and you must not.
It is a bit like driving little bumper cars and just trying to survive when it's in these tiny little areas. Actually, they're coming up on.
And so in the lead right now, we have Saga, a player from Saga, who's right in front of Nemesis. So maybe we should remind people about how the crew battles work.
Sure.
The format of those races.
Sure.
The idea is that during one crew battle, 2 teams, 2 crews play 4 races in one lobby. Either the Detroit or the New York PvP lobby inside the crew, of course. And they play all races in one lobby, which is 4. And so in New York, there are
3 dirt maps, actually, which is odd for New York, but yeah, 3 dirt maps and a street map, and in Detroit it's 3 street maps and a dirt.
So these dirt and street maps, they actually match. Oh, actually the race is over.
Yeah, we got into the race a bit late.
Yeah.
And they managed to finish it up very quickly. It is one of the quicker races as well. The map is only about 2.5 minutes to finish.
Okay.
And that's why all the collisions are of such high value. You need to survive the first 3 corners or you're getting in late.
Okay.
And you have to strategize a lot on how to survive those corners because you're 6 people trying to get through a space that only fits 1 car.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different ways to go about that.
So I would say, from what I've heard, what I've what I've been told, running Route 909 and talking to all the gaming centers and the observers, of the event, that these people at Saga, they seem to be pretty hot when it comes to car racing, and they won that race, the first race in this lobby.
Yeah, they go at it pretty hard, and Montreal have been giving it a shot as well, and managed to gather up quite a good crew here. Mm-hmm. And will surely show that they can win as well.
Yeah.
Now we'll get into the next map, which is Mountain Roads, and that's a dirt map. And from my personal experience, I can tell you the first corner is everything in this map.
Oh, really?
The first
so
corner.
how long is it? Not all maps are the same. Not all races are the same.
This
length?
one is pretty long. Not the longest by any means, but it's a medium-sized map. And the first corner really holds a great importance. And this guy is obviously driving with a wheel of some sort.
Okay, so actually it's the observer right now that's going to the side of the road, and now we're going to be able to see what he shows us with his camera in game. There we are.
And there goes the first corner, actually, and that is just, you can bump out into so many trees and knock out so many people. And it actually manages to put, I think, Nemesis
is
2 people
first,
ahead.
And second place. So actually, when you said the first corner is actually make or break for the whole race, it's pretty good for Nemesis. But Saga now is in second place with Santos, who's just gotten there. It's pretty hard fought. It's really close actually.
Yeah. Okay. So they didn't manage to cut off the competition completely in that corner, and they are actually managing to stick
this is a mess,
to the
man.
front field.
This is a mess.
So yeah, this is a race. There's only
Whoa.
I mean, there's less than 50 meters between every car, and That just means
that's
there's
funny.
a duel in every corner.
So I can't help but ask Niklas, where would DS Rack be in this race if you guys were in?
Man, we would be miles ahead by now already. I mean, these guys
That's what
aren't
I
even
thought.
using
That's what I thought,
shortcuts.
okay.
I mean, the thing you have to realize about a race like this is, as you see, they're driving from checkpoint to checkpoint, and that has nothing at all to do with roads. It's the one thing you really need to realize. There's a lot of trees, yes.
You mean they can cut through?
They can cut through a
So
lot of places.
That's what racing in open world is about, right? You can actually get off the track and
exactly that.
Find shortcuts
and we've been devoting a lot of time to doing that. Like right now, from the perspective of Saga here, we see he's actually darting straight for the checkpoint.
Saga is taking a big lead, like a solid lead now. It seems they have 3 guys.
Yeah,
someone from Nemesis came back.
They seem to be using some of the shortcuts. We actually just saw them jump over a little hill, jumping through a tree line over this hill, and that just put them ahead of 3 people. Using one shortcut, and there's at least like 8 places like that in this map.
Yeah, you have to know the shortcuts, the secret ways.
It's there's a lot of knowledge that goes into the game, not only about the map but about your car and what, like if you take a turn slowly enough, you can, or take it wide enough, you can stay in 3rd gear.
Yeah.
If you take it short, you'll get down into 2nd. Some cars don't accelerate very well in 2nd gear, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into just figuring out where you need to be on the map and how you need to react to your opponents trying to force you off the road or otherwise trying to win against you. Oh, and this guy just manages to.
So you know,
a tree.
that's the funny part about this game, is that every time I talk about the game with someone else, they tell me about a new aspect to it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
There's a lot of depth and variety. You can play competitively like here, but you can also just cruise, and that's pretty cool. So let's go back to the race now, and so Nemesis in the first place right now. Saga battling, coming back first. It's really close for first place. And how is it going?
I actually think Nemesis will come out the best of this as well. They managed to get not first place in the first race, but they got a lot of follow-ups, and that actually put them ahead in points. And this race, they are doing quite well. Saga has 1 guy in lead, but then it's 3 Nemesis guys, and that will pull home a lot of points. First place isn't the be-all, end-all. You need your entire crew to finish.
Yeah, it's actually
a good position.
It is a team effort. That said, first place is really you get way more points by being first than being like 3rd or 2nd. But it's still pretty good. That one guy of Saga trailing somewhat far behind now.
Seems to be a bit all over the place, like sliding back and forth.
So we've been in this race for 4 minutes 20, so not all races are the same in terms of length, right?
Like the first race we saw is about, I drive it in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but the guys here finished in, I think, 2:30, 2:40 or something. And that's a very decent time. And for this map, you can see we're past halfway done, and it's only it's on 5 minutes right now.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference in maps, and anyone can tell you that's been trying a.
Look at this shortcut. Oh, he got the checkpoint. Yeah, so that's the thing. When you.
I'm not sure that shortcut was worth it though. Like he had to make a full 180 after hitting that checkpoint.
He had to brake really hard.
It's about maintaining speed more than it is just hitting the checkpoint. You need to be darting straight ahead as much as possible. And so there he takes the checkpoint over the hill.
Just to remind you, everyone that might be joining the stream here with us, we are watching Saga versus Nemesis. Saga from São Paulo in Brazil playing versus Nemesis
in Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, in Montreal, Canada, and they're actually over there and over there. And, and we are in Paris, France, at the Ubisoft headquarters for the Route 909 Crew Battles playoffs. This is a quarterfinal match, and Saga is in the first place, but then Nemesis got the second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, so it's a bit hard to tell how it's going to shape up by now, because there is a very random element to it where you need to somehow wrestle the enemy out of certain turns.
Yeah.
and that can swing either way. Really, it comes down to the millimeter, and a lot of coordination. But it seems like Saga has one guy that really enjoys just being the sprinter and leaving everyone else behind to fend for themselves against 3 Nemesis players. And they are doing their best, trying to wrestle their way up into a decent position. Now,
well, we're having some kind of battle here between Slayer from Nemesis and was it Saga 11?
Saga just
Saga
pushing
11,
one guy above. And there's the finish line, photo finish.
All right, so
just one car length apart.
Saga first, then Nemesis second, third, and Saga again Nemesis. So all in all,
they come off pretty even actually on the map.
Yeah. We'll see the final results once someone.
So Saga is holding like the top, the middle, and the bottom, while Nemesis is just everywhere in between.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that ends up being a very equal amount of points spread out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a equal amount of points for both teams.
Sure.
We should see the scores, like the summed up scores, from both races.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be playing 4 races in a row in the New York lobby. Or was it the Detroit lobby, actually?
We're in New York right now.
That's the New York lobby, okay. So they're going to play 4 races in a row. They have played 2 already. And after each race, they earn points.
Yeah.
Players earn points for themselves and, of course, for the teams.
And you add up the entire team score and compare them to the other teams, and there we declare a winner.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think next up we have Clash in the Capital. That's actually a street race. And that's one with very, very tight corners.
Where is it located, this race?
It's New York as well.
It's in New York? Okay.
Yeah. And we're just waiting for the lobby to get on the way.
Indeed.
But yeah, very true. We have 2 maps left. And
2 maps left. On this second map, the result was almost equal. And we'll see what happens with the third map very soon.
The third will at least tell us who needs to be bouncing back on the 4th map, and that'll put some pressure on either Canada or Brazil.
Yeah,
it's a bit surreal having a racing game online and having like national, I don't know, a world championship really, and just having a gaming center in Canada playing against the gaming center in Brazil and representing the entire country or even continent.
It was really fun to organize all this and to get this going, to go to gaming centers, get them to discover a new game.
I remember you presenting it to me in Copenhagen.
Yeah. So. And then after Copenhagen, I went to New York. I went to other places, to show it. I went to Montreal, and the response was amazing. From the gamers, from the gaming center owners. They really liked the game very much. Actually, when I walked in New York inside the gaming center with my 2 laptops, they had 2 racing rigs set up there. They didn't wait for the crew to have their own racing rigs. So when I came in with the crew, the guys, they were totally crazy. They were like, "What is this?" They are not only hardcore gamers; they're actually hardcore
racers as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we have the scores ready from the previous game, and we actually have Saga in the lead by just 4 points. That's not much.
It is very short. We're halfway through this quarterfinal between Saga from Brazil and Nemesis from Canada, and 37 to 33. Nothing is done yet, really. This is really a very hard-fought match.
And we really need to jump into the lobby now and into the game and see them driving here.
Yeah. I think the race is on. Yes, there we go for the third race between Saga and Nemesis. So Clash in the Capital, is it?
Wow, did he just hit a tree? Yeah, Clash in the Capital is called. Driving around Washington, DC, that is, not the state.
Okay.
And a lot of lag seems
so
to be
it's
going
the
on
New
for
York
that guy.
lobby, but the race, the street, the city actually is Washington DC. The city.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the important thing to note that even though it's through lobbies in these PvP races, you're still driving opposing traffic. You're still driving in the actual areas. It's not like you're zoned out of anything. You're still very much part of this constant world going on around you. And like anyone trying the crew will notice it and will spend countless hours just driving around. I think James said this before as well. And like you just end up driving.
Yeah.
Which may seem like it's a boring thing, but you're really just looking at everything.
Okay, and so we have a winner here for the third race. Nemesis is in the lead, first place. Then Saga again for second and third. Then once again, very tough, very close, very tight.
I think this puts it actually even closer. Nemesis scoring a few more points than Saga this time, and the fourth map will end up being the decider.
Let's see how it's going to go. I don't know. Do you know if the fourth map is going to be a long one or rather a short one?
I believe it's going to be the main event. It's called.
Okay.
And not like the main. It's an event in Maine.
Okay, so it's a pun. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Maine with an E at the end. Okay.
Exactly. It's a bit of a pun made on the developer side there.
But I hope it's still a big event, like a main event actually.
Oh, actually, it's not going to be the main event. It's going to be Nature Trail.
Nature Trail. Okay.
Yeah. So Nature Trail is it's a sprint, the best way I can call it.
Okay, so
there's no laps. There's just like 20 checkpoints, and the first guy through all checkpoints and through the finish
wins. Right. So 20 checkpoints that are pretty close to each other. If it's a sprint.
Yeah, they're within like 1 kilometer or so of each other. Okay. I think that's the furthest you can get on a checkpoint.
Okay.
It depends on if the road is just going straight ahead or if you're turning a lot of corners, because then you might be inclined to take a lot of shortcuts if there's far apart.
So we're waiting for the updated scores, but we are almost sure it's really close. We are sure it's really close. We don't know how close actually.
Actually, let's jump into the game and see the start here of.
Yeah. I think the players are ready, and we should go now with the race. There we are.
And this car is the spectator that has to drive off to the side.
Actually, they are tied. They are tied actually with the same score after 3 races.
They're tied?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's the first match, and it's not the worst one. I'm telling you.
No, not at all. And these guys are playing for prizes. Let's not forget. Like, they have something to prove. They can actually go home with a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah, actually, we have we'll talk about prizes later.
Sure.
Let's look at the race. I will talk about all those wonderful partners later. So you said it's a short one. Okay, score updated 54-54. So we have a tie actually. It's all gonna be it's gonna come down to this race.
And actually, right now we have a Nemesis, then a Saga, then 2 Nemesis and a Saga, and a Saga again. Oh, Saga needs to pull ahead there in the back to have any chance here.
I wish I was so good at math that I could calculate in real time who's ahead as a crew.
Yeah.
But it's just really hard to say. I know for a fact that
I can tell you this much: the two Saga guys in the back need to get 3rd and 4th to be able to win this.
Okay.
So they need to overtake a lot.
Oh, indeed. It's not looking good for Saga. Somebody's going to be very disappointed after this loss because.
But it looks like Saga's sprinter here. He's dueling the guy in first place, and he really wants these extra points.
Saga 13 against Slayer. It's there you go with the traffic.
So a bit of opposing traffic, even though it's on dirt trails. There's still cars every now and again.
Whoa, what is he doing? Whoa. Did he miss a checkpoint or what? Actually, he did. Slayer got 3rd, 4th. Actually, he missed the checkpoint.
Oh, so this might actually be the deciding factor to who goes away with the most points in this game. Saga overtaking him with one of the guys in the back as well.
It was first, he had it, and then he went for another shortcut that was one too much.
Yeah, and like you see in this map here, it's a lot of just straight driving, and then there's a few tricky corners peppered into the map. And it really messes with your head because you're just trying to always bolt at 150 an hour. and then all of a sudden you get a complete U-turn, and it's on a dirt trail. You have to really control your brakes to like you have to keep calm and composed. And in a match like this where everything is on the line, that's gonna be hard.
So I never played PvP in the crew, but I played a lot of the game. I played a lot. Compared to your 400 hours, you know, I'm a small guy, I'm a small player, but I only played like 70, 80 hours. But I played a lot of skills on dirt trails. They made me crazy.
Yeah,
like you said, you lose your composure all the time. You're like, oh, I want to grind this, I want to grind that, and then bam, you just get out of the road. And this is what happened for Nemesis here, but it's still not over for them. We have been racing for more than 3 minutes here in this final race,
and we are actually coming up on the finish line. Saga with the one guy ahead here, holding first place, actually being challenged a bit by Nemesis, who has second and third and are closing in.
These Canadians, they're hot, man.
Yeah,
they don't let down.
I think as the positions are right now, Nemesis are actually better off, and Saga really have to hurry up to get through this.
Yeah, that's really close. I'm not sure Nemesis is ahead now, but as a crew, I mean. But you know, we'll see. That said, Saga 13 as a clear, you know, lead. He's been handling it so well for his team. The question is, will his teammates make it? Will they get out of the final spot, for example?
And actually, here we see the guy in. Oof, what place is he in? Third, yeah. And he just really needs to maintain his position, but he seems to be very far ahead of the guys behind him.
Yeah, so he was in third place actually. So Slayer slowly, you know, climbing back the ladder after his missed checkpoint. Slayer now in fourth place. So actually Nemesis now has got second, third, and fourth, which
is definitely better than first and last and second to last.
Indeed. Indeed, it's a battle of North America versus South America, and in this match, Canada might come on top with a very, very short lead. It's not done yet, and we still have Saga 13 in the first place. But
and here comes the finish line. Oh my God!
There we are.
So Saga and Nemesis pulling in first and second, and third place is coming up here.
Yeah, and there don't seems to be, you know,
there's
any
no one near to challenge him.
Yeah.
No. So he's gonna get third, and then the only chance left for Saga is the guy from Nemesis crashing completely, and they both overtake him.
Yeah, so
highly unlikely since the finish line is right there.
There we are. We're almost there now, and the race actually is about to finish. We'll wait for the final results.
Yeah,
to
make sure the math is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked like Nemesis.
Yeah, it does look like.
So it was actually Nemesis.
Nemesis wins. Thank you. Nemesis wins. They did the math backstage. We will trust them.
Montreal beating out Brazil.
São Paulo.
Yeah.
To me, this is a big surprise. I have to say.
It kind of is to me as well. It is like of the American teams, it's the two teams I've been looking the most at. So I'm just happy to see one of them go, so my DS Rack guys can win the whole thing. I have to be a little bit biased.
We're gonna get the full detailed score in a few, but I'm surprised.
Definitely,
yeah.
They came out of the woodworks.
These guys can play,
yeah,
and they will be playing tomorrow in the semis. These guys from Nemesis,
yeah, and they will be playing the winner of our next match actually. Which is an American team and
an American team.
Yeah,
right. It's New York versus Los Angeles. The next
so East Coast versus West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be interesting to see if one team is just full lowrider and the
will
other
you
team
do a rap for us?
A rap?
Yeah.
No.
East Coast, West Coast. Which one are you?
That's not my department, man. I've got to talk to James for that one.
Oh, James. James, where is he? Okay. Did you get that?
No, not at all.
Okay, 75 for Nemesis and 71 for São Paulo.
So just
Saga,
4
Escola
credits
Saga
short.
in São Paulo. It's really sad to see our friends from Saga go. They've been really into it for Route 909. They love the crew. They've been pushing really hard, the community over there, and it's just that that they have to go. But that's competition. That's how our tournaments go, right?
Yeah. And definitely make sure to check them out on their Facebook and Twitter as well, and show them their support. They've been amazing through this event, and they deserve their recognition.
Exactly, and actually Saga. Actually, Saga will not win crew battles now. Now we see but they actually are in the lead for the customized contest.
Yeah. That's true. They made this really cool image with their orange cars and flames on the sides and everything.
They already gathered a lot of votes in the Facebook gallery. So if you want to vote yourself for the customized contest, you can go to the facebook.com/Route909 page, where you have the gallery for the contest, and you can just like the pictures, and each like counts as a vote.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the brackets and how they look now after this first victory for Nemesis against Saga. They moved up to the semi-finals, where they will face off against either World Gamer Nation or Cyber City. They have to battle it out first, and we'll see what winner comes out from that.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race between the two big American cities. Like I said, the guys from World Gamer Nation. So I haven't been to Cyber City, so I can't really tell about there. But World Gamer Nation, when I came in with the crew, I just had to plug in the laptops on the force feedback wheels, and we were going, playing. And so
they were already ready and set up. And
they have former kart drivers playing for them. They have really hardcore racers. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I would say WGN, from, of course, after all I said, I think they're the favorite.
The thing with hardcore racers, though, is they usually play a lot of just time trials and having to set the best time and all. And PvP races in the crew is a bit more about using your crew, and that's a completely new skill that needs to be developed.
Yeah, it's not like you're playing against the clock.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Niklas, for this commentary. We're going to keep going with crew battles at 3 a.m. European time, Paris time.